Hey everyone. Hey everyone. It's Brandon. It's Tuesday again, and here on Transception this week we're going to be talking about living situations. Now, I've had a couple different living situations since coming out. First, I'm going to start with college dorms. Those by far sucked the most. I had been there. I had started going to college right after I came out, so I was still on the female hall. Which really sucked. By some fluke, I managed to not get a roommate. So, pro tip: talk to housing before you start school if the timing's right for you. They might be able to arrange it where even if you have to stay on the female hall, you cannot have a roommate to make things a little more comfortable. But yeah, I was on the female hall. My girlfriend at the time ended up just staying in the room with me the majority of the time, which was cool. The thing that sucked the most was I could put up with the female hall if I had my own bathroom. I did not have my own bathroom. I had to use a communal bathroom shower area. Of course, the stalls and the shower stalls had were separated. The shower stalls had curtains. The sinks were open. But I ended up scheduling my shower time when nobody else would really be in there, or the least likely time for people to be in there. And even then, sometimes that didn't work. To help cope with all of that, when I get out of the shower, I come out with my towel draped around my neck and over my chest, kind of hide that. I didn't really talk to anybody on the hall, so everybody was just kind of confused. It was just a really, really terrible situation. I didn't really know anybody. And then started my third semester at that school. I was only there for a week. Long story behind that. But I was in an apartment with 3 girls. We each had our own rooms, and I shared a bathroom with one of the girls who happened to be a friend of mine. That was going pretty smoothly for the first week. I hadn't talked to any of the other girls in the apartment, but I don't know. I feel like it would have been really weird and made things a lot more awkward. Pro tip: if you're the dorms I was in, they like to put the names of the residents on the doors just so people get to know each other better, kind of as a welcome to college. Here's some friends. I had to deal with this twice. They put my birth name on the door, which, understandable, that's the only name they knew. So, pro tip: if you see this happening, go talk to the people who are doing it. They will more than likely be more than happy to change that out for you. It's really weird having that name on the door the entire semester. So, be open about it. Just talk to the people in charge of that. You don't have to come out to everybody. Just be like, I don't go by that name. Can I get this different name on here instead? Let's see. Living situation number 2. Living with parents. Now, in between semesters, or in between school years over the summer, I went to Ohio to stay with my dad for the summer. It's the first time I'd seen him since coming out. It was just, in general, a really weird time. Not weird. It was sort of awkward, because he didn't really know how to address any of it. I mean, I was his little girl, and then all of a sudden, I was a little girl anymore. And he had this big picture of me on the wall from my senior pictures. It was just a mess. It was kind of awkward. We'd still do things together, but he was trying to adjust to, okay, things are going to change. It wasn't necessarily that what we did changed, it was how we did it. It was just sort of awkward, but not as awkward as I thought it would be. Now, I live in Georgia, my mom lives in Georgia, and that's who I stayed with the majority of the time. So being with my dad over the summer was kind of an exceptional thing. So, yeah. Now, moving on to living with my mom, when I left school for since I was in school for 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. It was really strange too, because I was pre-T when I moved back in with my mom, and she was still having a hard time with everything. I was still getting called my birth name sometimes. I was still getting misgendered a lot. I stayed locked in my room. Not locked, but I stayed in my room a lot for a long time. And then when I got a job, I was just constantly working. I wasn't home much, and I preferred it that way because I get to avoid misgendering from my family. Now we'll speed up to when I started T. So I started T June of 2013. Yeah, June of 2013, and still living with my mom. And I had talked to her about it beforehand. I was like, I have the money to do this. I found the doctor. I'm going to do this. I would like your support. And I was trying to talk to her about it. And when I started T and the changes started happening, is when things started getting weird with my mom. Because she was like, okay, well, I could deal with you being trans. I can deal with calling you he and Brandon. And then when I started T, she's like, okay, this is more real. This is happening. I am seeing these changes. And it really weirded her out. Like, when my voice started dropping, she would just kind of avoid saying anything. When I started growing more body hair, she didn't want to see it. Facial hair, still haven't gotten her to touch it. But I was trying for a while, and she'd tell me to go away. Like, she didn't want to be around me when I started doing that. And it's really sucked because I couldn't really share my changes with her. I couldn't really be open about them. She's doing great about it now. Fast forward to when I moved out. I moved back to Atlanta. Moved in with my friend at the time and his wife. Everything was great there. I met them through a trans support group. And so I'd known him for a few years. Everything was great. No misgendering, no nothing. It was comfortable to be taking my binder off. And then back in December, I moved into an apartment with my girlfriend. Everything was great. Yeah. So I think that pretty much covers it all. If you have any questions or want me to elaborate on anything, leave a comment. Otherwise, I will see y'all next week. Bye.